Below the sandhills of Nebraska runs one of the world's largest water reservoirs, the Ogallala Aquifer. It spans 8 states, providing millions with clean drinking water, and is the life-sustaining force for America's agricultural industry. Overuse has put it at risk, but now a proposed oil pipeline, the Keystone XL, might present an even greater threat.
Cool drink out of the Ogallala Aquifer.
The danger posed by the pipeline has turned Nebraska rancher Bruce Betcher into a hardcore activist. He spent thousands of dollars of his own money to produce radio ads against Keystone XL.
So I says, okay, Mom, give me a glass of water. Took a drink of it, and I go, oh, what a cool drink of water out of the Ogallala Aquifer. If that's not more refreshing than all the tar sands oil in the world. That was the first radio ad.
TransCanada, the company backing the project, wants to transport millions of gallons of corrosive tar sands oil from Canada to Texas. The pipeline would cut under the Sandhills region and straight through the Ogallala Aquifer. The risk of oil contaminating America's largest clean water supply is too high for Nebraskans like Bruce. His ranch produces 80,000 pounds of certified organic beef a year that depend on the clean water of the Ogallala. But you only have to spend a day with him to understand this fight is bigger than just protecting his ranch.
The water here is our lifeblood. It's a too valuable a resource. I say that it's invaluable, and when it's invaluable, you should not be able to disturb it.
Jane Klebb, founder of Bold, Nebraska, has helped organize public demonstrations against the pipeline throughout the state.
So Nebraska normally is a very quiet state, and there's no doubt about it that we have a lot of conservative folks living in Nebraska. But when you threaten the very way of life here, you're going to see a lot of folks raise hell.
This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like.
In November, Bruce and his daughter Amy traveled to Washington, D.C., where they joined thousands of people demanding an end to Keystone XL.
We owe TransCanada absolutely nothing. For the sake of all America, I ask you respectfully, President Obama, deny this permit. Thank you. God bless America.
Days after the protest in D.C., President Obama's administration announced it would delay a decision on Keystone XL until 2013. But a congressional mandate has forced the president to make a decision sooner. Shortly after President Obama's announcement, TransCanada said it would reroute Keystone XL out of the Sandhills region. The decision to reroute has increased pressure on local opposition groups like Bold, who are trying to keep the pipeline out of the Ogallala.
Ranchers and farmers are, and I don't use this word lightly, are terrified of this pipeline, because they know that essentially our meat is tar sands free right now, right? That we have good meat, good quality meat that has really been, raised in clean conditions. And if we allow this pipeline to come through, and if there's a bad spill, that brand goes away overnight.
I don't believe the people would understand or comprehend how devastating it would be to the Ogallala Aquifer if it was contaminated by the Keystone XL pipeline, if it was leaking. And I shouldn't say if it was leaking, it's when it's leaking.
TransCanada's dismal record of spills in the U.S. has fueled the opposition. Its existing pipeline, Keystone 1, has had more than a dozen spills in its first year of operation. And in June, the Department of Transportation ordered TransCanada to suspend pipeline activity until safety measures were addressed.
When you really think about it, we are environmentalists. We are concerned about the land. We are concerned about the water. Oh my gosh. If that's what you want to peg me as, well then I guess peg me as an environmentalist. I always thought I was a steward of the land, but I guess if they want to peg me as that, well that's what I'll be.
To say the Ogallala Aquifer gives life to the Great Plains is not an exaggeration. As politicians wrangle over its future, ranchers like Bruce are on the front lines, protecting it every day.
A good, cool drink of water out of the Ogallala Aquifer is far better than all of the tar, sand, and oil in the world. Stand up and protect your water so it doesn't become contaminated.